Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cookie Tree Tribe. And we are here with Rosewater, who, as you guys know from the last episode, is having yet another somewhat distressing conversation with her aging aunts, who are getting ready to pass away without any lineage left behind them, without a single nest built or a child to inherit a place in the Cookie Tribe. And all Rosewater can feel is the certainty that that cannot be her fate, that she wants to find love and she wants to raise children of her own. And because her brother is kind of crowding things out with all of the children that he is having with Breenie, I really feel like Rosewater is beginning to glance over her shoulder at the other tree that they have not yet settled around, the other gift from Mies, the goddess above, and she's beginning to think that there is a different path ahead for her than going back home and helping with all of her brother's children and all of her newborn siblings. And if you guys are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, definitely watch the last episode. I've been bad about it lately, but I'm trying not to repeat myself too much in each episode. I am still thinking about tweaking the rules, and I'm glad many of you were amiable to the idea of maybe being a little gentle with the idea of limiting tribe size, keeping it to maybe 12 per group, and allowing different groups to evolve and to show up. Some of them maybe even not part of the cookie line, just for the sake of story, because for the most, like, in the end of the day, at the end of the challenge, we will lose the challenge if we lose the cookie line. We always have to have the cookie line going. But I do love the idea that you guys have, that it'd be fun to allow splinter groups to develop, to follow other stories and personalities, because each island, we're not alone. We're not alone on these islands. And I think it'd be really cool if we maybe discovered a wandering nicheling who doesn't quite fit, but maybe, you know, Marsh ends up having a child with a wandering nicheling who isn't spotted, but then we send her over here and she starts a little segment who's just a bunch of fishers who live down here, and we would follow their stories, and they could inadvertently, like, we'd say they were trading food maybe with our nichelings to account for how the food and the grass would build up, but they would be considered a different group, and we may or may not even just abandon all of them when we move to the next island. I'm very glad you guys were amiable to that, because I love the idea of telling the nichelings stories, and that, more than the challenge by this stage, is really what I want to do. So, Rosewater, with that in mind, let's go ahead and leave yet another aging aunt gently and with a nod of reverence to the bones of poor Potato there, irreverently behind, and scooch over. Oh, she found a mole, but she can't really do anything about it. Alright, she's gonna try to claim this tree area as her own. I think she actually, the mole didn't even notice. I think she was trying to rush up to the tree so excited, and she pushed the grass out of the way, and the mole startled her, and so with those delicate, dainty little velvet paws of hers, she probably let out a little screech and batted at him like, get away! But she has such soft touches that it didn't even make the mole blink. He doesn't even think that she's worthy of his time. Poor delicate little Rosewater, she's so cute. But alright, I do want to send Marsh up to visit with her. They may potentially fall in love. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Marsh is visiting with Uncle Nappa, who is also equally gentle right now. He's trying to get out of Uncle Nappa's way. It doesn't seem like Uncle Nappa can see very well. And there's a rustle of bunnels in the grasses that I think would have attracted Cranberry's attention, and maybe even Blondie's attention, named after the Black New Year cookies, by the way. It's a weird name. I have difficulty coming up with cookie-related names for a black nicheling with pink spots, but it'll do. But I think that they, with their powerful claw and with her big ears, would have heard that bunnel. Aha! Oh, the bunnel just ran under Fiddle's legs for protection. And I think they have a pinch of the same adventurousness that their brother Hazelnut does. So they're gonna go try to find the bunnels and start spreading out a little bit, because food stores are becoming a serious issue. And that is something that I think Cumin, who is kind of she is the eldest member of the tribe right now, other than Breenie, who isn't, like, she was adopted in, and Cumin was one of the few raised by Lala and Yuki, or Lala and Tata, after all. So she knows how important it is for the cookie tribe to grow and prosper, and there's simply not enough food. Yes, Almond, I know you've always been worried about having enough nesting material for the children, but there needs to be enough food if we are going to feed all of them. So, with that in mind, ooh, there's so much movement going on. I think that we would definitely start trying to find more food resources. So little and Zach would be sent over. Can he do any collecting? He cannot do any collecting. He and his sister can do a little bit of fishing. So I think they're too impatient. They're ignoring Cumin's lessons that she is trying to teach them about how to collect. But we'll have, and I need to destroy that nest because that wasn't supposed to be there. I guess they could try digging. How much until we unlock Digging Paw? Quite a bit. How much until we unlock Claw? Even more. How much until we unlock, like, fishing? Maybe? Is there, like, a fishing thing we could unlock? Nimble Fingers? We haven't even unlocked Nimble Fingers yet. Alright, if Cumin's gonna leave any heritage behind, it would be the insistence that Nimble Fingers would need to be unlocked. So Hazelnut's gonna come over to gather up some food with his children, and they'll come down to kind of study with him. Oh, hey, Aunt Celery. That's why I like having some of the nichelings wander around. So even if we do splinter groups, and we'll say like each group can have 12 members and still be considered part of the cookie batches. So it'd be like each batch is about a dozen to 13. I think that'd be pretty cool, for sure. But I do still want to have some wanderers just wandering around, as well as splinter tribes. So this is going to be really fun, I think, to have so many different stories going around. All right, but little Anzac, I guess he could unlock Digging Paw. They're both going to take forever to get to. But he's trying, I think he'd be trying to be, like, he got caught by Cumin, and he's going to try to help out. So, all right, there we go. There we go. I think Rosewater, if she can settle over here, would officially make a break from the main line of the cookie tribe and have a second batch of cookies started up. So that would be pretty cool. And we're going to welcome in 2 babies. So welcome to Fair and Brini's next children. Brini, should I give your children? I should give them something. We're going to go ahead and we are going to give them, at the very least, the opportunity to get runner's leg. I think Brini always wanted something more for her children, like having the nimble fingers. I think Brini always dreamed of a world where she could have her children have nimble fingers, but it's just not going to happen. And Hazelnut, he's still young. He might end up with another mate, so we're not going to actually assign his second mutation menu. Here we go. Babies! So many babies! Okay, we're gonna start starving soon if we're not careful. And Kiravan has unfortunately got that deformed paw as well. Phooey, but he does look more like a cookie tribe member. And we really need to get a lighter coat color because gray and black cookies, they don't look particularly appetizing. We're having a little bit, no wonder Hazelnut is kind of like the most attractive looking of the cookie tribe members for being an actual cookie so far. So no wonder everybody was so distracted with him. Anna! Oh! I'm actually, you know what I'm going to name her? Anna, Banana. We're going to name her, in fact, let's go ahead with Banana. There we go, from banana cookies, which I have actually made, just smashed up banana with some oats. You can actually make cookies out of that. And little Kiravan, he is a small guy. He doesn't really have a lot that he can do. So I'm actually going to name him Graham, after graham cracker cookies. And we'll probably have some repeats of these names in the future, but that's okay. If you really have a good cookie recipe you like, you make it often. And if they really have good cookie names they like, they may use them often. It's all just part of life. Let's see, so Fair still has a ton of time left to live. Almond, not quite so much, but I think he would be quite proud of how many children he has. But now he might want to encourage those children to help him, now that so many of his siblings have died, to bury their bones and like spread out a little and see what's going on. Because he wants to see the grasses collected, the nesting taken care of. He wants to be able to see more of the land too, to see what happened to his family. And to kind of claim, not aggressively, but like with a loving eye, claim the land around the tree. He's always kind of looked outward at what resources could potentially be gathered, mostly in soft, fluffy grasses for the children, for the tribe. So Almond's gonna have his children start exploring a little bit more. And Brini only has 1 day left to live. So she may have one more child. Brini, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, technically we could make that happen. But yeah, you know, I mean, has she passed on the G immunity? How many nichelings have G immunity? Let's see. Brini, Cream, and Anzac. You know what? I think that's enough. Because Anzac, even though he's controversial, he is a proper cookie nicheling. And I mean, I guess Brini, you're really cool. And she's always wanted... okay, maybe one more child, and then we'll go ahead and we'll release any children that we don't need from her. And we'll let her go ahead and settle in and just possibly have another child. And Fair is also ready to kind of give baby having a little bit of a break. She is ready to just take a moment to have a bit of a breather. And we'll do a little bit of digging. I think Anzac's been unfortunately roped into having to do the digging because old Aunt Cumin is being quite bossy. How close? We're not going to be able to unlock Digging Paw, but we'll get somewhere. Alright, can we unlock? I think Cumin would really want to see Nimblefingers unlocked before she passes. So how close did that put us? Nimblefingers. We just need 3 more! Alright, let's do this. And Eugene. Yes! Alright, Nimblefingers has been unlocked! Why did I just assign Runner's Leg right just as that happened? Because I thought Brini was going to die sooner than that. Alright, so I think Cumin actually, even though she's not going to breed, I'm going to give her double Nimblefingers in her mutation menu, just as her way of being able to be like, and now I have contributed to this tribe, even though she was gathering nuts the whole time. I don't know. It has something to do with food. I just feel like she would be one of those weird aunts who like takes responsibility for that. And you're like, okay, Auntie Cumin, yeah, you sure unlocked that Nimblefinger gathering all those nuts, all right. Woo boy. Good job, Auntie Cumin. She'd be kind of one of those weird great aunts. Alright, meanwhile, the rumble of hunger in her stomach would make Rosewater pull away from the tree for a moment. Cran is quite the adventurous little one. And Blani hears rustlings, so she hears a lot going on. Aha! And her big ears give her a little bit of an advantage. So Blani, boom, has gathered up some mole meat. And I think the sound of a mole being hunted would surprise Marsh, but he's going to gather up some of these fresh, rain-drenched berries before he heads out. Gosh, guys, I love this. I missed these stories so much. Yeah, keeping the tribe in batches and a little bigger is going to be good for us. And Almond will go ahead and help clear the area out. And little Cream will frolic next to her dad and start helping with the clearing. And she can't actually do anything other than strength and fishing. So we'll say she's very distractible. The other nichelings, you know, Hazelnut at least was focused with his desire to chase things and to explore and to be a little bit more aggressive. In the end, even though he's still extremely young, so he has a lot of time to define his personality, he tried to rise to the occasion of being a good member of the tribe. And Cream, we're gonna say that she's exceptionally distractible and easy in the daydreaming. Alright, so let's see where we go from here. We're at 13 members now. We're so low on food, it's a little frightening. Oh, bundle! Oh, and then Marsh. Marsh actually got this bundle, possibly because maybe it like got in a fight with him. I'm gonna say it was a particularly aggressive bundle. But look at this, we have just got quite a bit of hearty meat to complement. Wow, that was a lot actually. Whoa, and we unlocked a new gene? What do we unlock? I wish it would tell me. We have Cracker Jaw unlocked, thank goodness, because we always need to have the ability to crack nuts and trees to eat nuts under. Digging Paw, Nimblefingers was already on. Who knows? It was one of these things over here. One of these things. Alright, so Marsh I think got in a fight with a Bunnel just now. He didn't mean to, but the Bunnel was quite aggressive. Blani and Cran, I think, are having a friendly, like, sibling laughing competition as they chase down the things that they hear over here. And it turns out to be delicious meat, which, of course, you have to eat your nuts with, because without nuts, you don't have a balanced diet, children. Great Aunt Cumin. Thanks, Great Aunt Cumin. And she's like, I'm about to die, you know. And they'd all be like, holy cow, Aunt Cumin. Like, whoa, where'd that come from? And Aunt Cumin would be like, this is an honor. A proper matriarch and a patriarch of the tribes should pass under its leaves, and let their bodies nourish the soil that shall go on to feed all of you. In the future, you will be eating nuts made of my body. And that's exactly the kind of weird aunt that I think Aunt Cumin would be. And all the children would be like, you, Aunt Cumin. So yes, sorry, I don't know why, but she tickles the heck out of me. And I just think she'd have the weirdest personality. There you go, Aunt Cumin, your final nut to nibble. Little Graham will come over to his brother, who's still on digging duty. And Breenie will go ahead and settle down. And I think that Fair knows that this is like Breenie's final moment. So I want to have Fair stay close by and just kind of comfort her. And I want Almond, he'll go ahead and try to dig a little bit. Yeah, to bury his sisters who have kind of been scattered all over the place. And Banana, I love your name, darling. I love you. I love your name. I love your color. I love your traits. She's going to hang out over here. She's a new favorite as well. Little Cream. Wow, she found 2 nests that we can't use. At least not for the official members of the Cookie Tribe. Little Cream will wander over there. And we'll go ahead and have Hazelnut. Boom! Get some mole meat, because the meat does help to balance the nut-filled diet that we eat. I mean, it's not like they're strict herbivores, just you have to have nuts or you're gonna die. That's something that they really believe. Alright, and Rosewater, meanwhile, she can push that grass out of her face and pop in the last of the berries that she has gathered to nibble on. Alright, and everybody is in place, and I do believe, guys, that it is actually Breenie's final moments with us. So Breenie, thank you so much for being a wandering, spotted female with the perfect immunity genes to complement Hazelnut's life. I really don't think he realizes that Breenie is so old and that it is her final moments. He's so young. I think he just wouldn't understand that Breenie was ready to go. He's young. He should have had his whole life ahead with his mate. And instead... Oh! Great Aunt Cumin and Breenie just died at the same time. And have left behind... Oh! Her wishes come true! A little gathering sign. Oh my gosh, Breenie. Talk about melting my heart. She finally had a child who can do what she always wanted and have paws that could pluck the berries off of bushes. Oh, that must make her so happy. What am I gonna name this little guy? He needs like a super special name. I'm trying to look over my list. The white chocolate chips are kind of what I'm thinking of. So she was Breenie from Brownies. He's Hazelnut. You know what? Macadamia? Well, that's not really the kind of cookie I want to go for right now either. Let's go with... This is why I had to start making up cookie names. It's easier. So Brownies and Hazelnuts. We'll name him Breenu? Not like, Brownies. How about just Nutty? Oh man! Don't panic, Seri! You can do it! Go, go, go! Just give this little one a name. Let's go ahead and he's got 2 gathering paws. Otherwise, Macadamia it is! Yeah, alright. I'm gonna have to go ahead and we'll call him Mac for short. But I'm gonna go ahead and we are actually going to just make up names that sound delicious from now on because I freak out too much looking at a list. However, your name suggestions in the comments are vital for inspiring what we will use on the list. But my friends, we have had the sudden and shocking passing of Breenie and old Aunt Cumin. My bones are nourishing this tree now, children. I hope you appreciate the sacrifice. That would be so creepy. But she has passed and left behind Anzac, Graham, Macadamia, and Cream, who's quite the interesting little wanderer. We are down to 12 members of the tribe. Almond is actually growing quite old, and Hazelnut is suddenly looking around himself with shock, finding that his mate is gone, and he suddenly might be in charge of this tribe and leading it, which is a huge burden he didn't expect to have. Meanwhile, Rosewater is still looking around herself, thinking about love, watching her life slip away and panicking because she is not going to follow the same fate of all of her children, like childless aunts that were surrounded her. That is not going to be her fate. And we're going to have to see how the colors, the designs, and the adventures of the Cookie Tribe continue. So if you guys could, do please leave a nut in honor of all of our little nichelings who need so much to eat by leaving a like. If you have not yet joined our nicheling pantheon, do please consider subscribing, because this and so many other stories, including niche live streams, will be coming to our community in the following months, especially with the new niche update that will be happening sometime next year. And if you guys could, let me know what you think. Who are your favorite characters? How are the designs of our cookies so far? I don't think they look particularly appetizing, but we'll work on that over time. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!